Human beings are land creatures, so we live mostly on the land. We can't survive in the ocean for very long. In order for us to survive, we need to take in food and water. That's something that's essential, that's needed. And human beings have developed ways that have made us more efficient, much better at taking control of our land in order to provide more food for more humans.
70% of this land is habitable. 50% of the 70% is used for agriculture. And now 80% of all of that is used for raising creatures. In a sense, we use half of the habitable land on this planet to create our food.
We humans eat all kinds of things. We eat vegetables, stuff that comes from the ground, and we also eat other animals. Now, we've learned to take control of a number of these animals. The most popular ones are cows, pigs, chickens, goats, sheep, these kind of animals. We don't eat other humans. Most humans don't eat other humans. It's happened, but generally it's not accepted. If you take all of the mammals on Earth, so from mice to whales to elephants to cows and humans, and you put all of them on a scale and you weigh them, 96% of that weight is going to be humans and their livestock. 60% livestock and 36% humans. Only 4% of the weight of all mammals is are wild animals. To me, that's an astonishing fact. As for birds, if you weigh them, then 70% of that mass is going to be farmed poultry, so the chickens and ducks that we eat, while only 30% are wild birds.
We slaughter over 70 billion chickens every single year. It's almost like we live on a planet where most of the creatures are just there because we eat them. Just there to be eaten by us, humans.
So we've converted the majority. In the last 100 years, we cut down as much forest as we had cut down in 9,000 years. So we're accelerating at this. We're getting much better at cutting down forest.
Occasionally I get asked, about a saw hand, cutting trees down with a chainsaw compared to that thing. I mean, you sit here and count what he's cut since I've been filming. There's no way that a man with a saw could even remotely come close to what that thing will do right there.
So over half of the world's species reside in tropical rainforests, and we just chop them down. So every few seconds, we chop down a football field worth of tropical rainforest, which has the most biodiversity on Earth. mass, in terms of the weight of animals, human beings have caused the loss of 83% of mammals on Earth. 80% of marine mammals have been lost. So that's those whales, the dolphins, those beautiful creatures, beautiful mammals in the sea. 50% of plants have been lost. Wild animal populations have fallen by more than 2/3 since 1970, and they continue to decline till this day. And we're not just wiping out individual mammals in groups, we're also bringing to extinction entire species of animals. So right now, the global rate of species extinctions is at least tens to hundreds of times higher than it has averaged over the last 10 million years. The thing is that we need this biodiversity. We evolved with the rest of the life on our planet that exists today. We evolved together, and we need these systems to function the way that they do now because we depend on it for our own survival. We depend on the forests to clean our water. We depend on the climate to stay relatively stable so that we can grow crops. We depend on biodiversity for all kinds of medicines and food and the well-being of human beings. Nature sustains the qualities of the air, the fresh water, the soils that humanity depends on. So we need even our soil to be biodiverse in order for us to grow the crops that we need to eat. Nature distributes water, regulates the climate, it provides pollination. So we need pollinators to exist so that our food can grow. More than 75% of our food crops depend on animal pollination. Marine and terrestrial ecosystems are sinks for our carbon emissions. Trees are valuable because they provide oxygen for us and they take in CO2, so they regulate the Earth's climate. They also put moisture out into the environment. There's an entire system at work there that regulates the way our Earth works. So everything is interconnected, the oceans and the deserts and the mountains and the crop cycles and the animals. This is something that we can't survive without.